Do you ever wonder if there is anything Elon Musk cannot do? Coined as a visionary and futuristic entrepreneur with a charismatic personality, Elon Musk has paved his own path to be a successful businessman over the past few decades, with some of the most prominent, impactful, and innovative companies under his leadership. But how did he do it? Certainly, it isn't easy to run multiple companies that are changing the world. It's thanks to innovation and creativity that Tesla and SpaceX are so popular today. In this video, we take a look at Musk's 5-step process to successfully innovate. Coming from a bully childhood, Musk's success is a reflection of this agility and relentless work ethic. After completing his studies, he pursued his interest in physics and economics at Queen University, Canada, and University of Pennsylvania. With a Bachelor of Science degree in physics as well as Bachelor of Arts in economics from Wharton, Pennsylvania, his dual degree helped him in building his career path. During a June 2021 tour of Starbase by space journalist Everyday Astronaut, Musk talked about previously private methods that his company Tesla, SpaceX, and Neuralink and the Boring Company use to make better products. Elon described the method he uses to effectively build software, cars, rockets, solar arrays, or anything. He shared his 5-step process for innovation, and we can learn something from him to help us come up with our own innovative ideas. You won't find this design thinking in any business school textbook or case. Let's take a look. Make the requirement less dumb. The requirements are definitely dumb. It does not matter who gave them to you. It's particularly dangerous when they come from an intelligent person, as you may not question them enough. Everyone's wrong. No matter who you are, everyone is wrong some of the time. All designs are wrong. It's just a matter of how wrong. When he says requirement, he's speaking in the language of R&D. In architecture, requirements are called blueprints. In IKEA furniture, they're called assembly instructions. In medicine, they're called operating procedures. In engineering, they're called specifications, and so on. Every tech of field has a term of art to describe their requirement. Elon says regardless how honed they seem, there's room for improvement, especially if they're approved by an authoritative body or if they've stood the test of time. Durability in the past doesn't mean a requirement is fit for the present. Elon encourages us to deeply look into and explain every requirement rather than assuming they're right. Everyone is wrong some of the time. He advises that a person be assigned to each requirement, not a department. In order to define the existence of the requirement, try to delete the requirements. The next step after evaluating your requirements, Musk says, is to look critically at the process or piece you're developing and try to remove pieces instead of always adding new things. Work to understand the value that's added by each part or each step in the process and reduce or eliminate those that don't add value. If you're not occasionally adding things back in, you are not deleting enough. The bias tends to be very strongly towards, let's add this part or process step in case we need it, but you can basically make it in case arguments for so many things. Optimize and simplify. The reason this is the third step and not the first step is because the most common error of a smart engineer is to optimize something that should simply not exist. You have to ask the question, should we build this at all? So everyone's basically, without knowing it, they got like a mental straitjacket on. They'll work on optimizing the thing that simply should not exist. Elon uses Falcon 1 as an example of when SpaceX optimized a system that shouldn't have existed. They optimized a rocket using NTO-MMH, even though the propellant is toxic and expensive, and therefore shouldn't have been considered at all. This requirement shouldn't have made it to step 3. It should have been deleted in stage 2. Accelerate cycle time. The most important thing when working on your design is to reduce the amount of time from when we start working on something to when we finish. The easiest way to do that is to focus on one thing at a time and eliminate task switching. With that focus, you can get things done more quickly. Just make sure they're the right things. You're moving too slowly. Go faster, but don't go faster until you work on the other 3 things first. Automate the requirement. Then the final step is automate. Now I have personally made the mistake of going backward on all 5 steps multiple times. On the Tesla Model 3, I automated, accelerated, simplified, and then deleted. Seeking to learn and explain using past mistakes, Elon explains how he inadvertently did the reverse of his advice on Model 3. That is, rather than counting up the steps, he started by automating a requirement and ended by deleting the requirement entirely. While working on a fiberglass mat atop the battery pack, he automated the fiberglass mat requirement using a $2 million installation robot. Then he accelerated the mat requirement by moving the robot faster with a shorter movement path. Step 4, accelerate. Then he removed the reversing step in bolt tightening and got rid of the mat glue. Step 3, optimize. Then finally, he asked what the fiberglass mats were for. He was told by the battery department that they're for fire safety. The safety department said they're not for safety but rather for noise dampening. So Elon sat in a Model 3 for an A/B test and couldn't hear the difference. So after automating Step 5, the fiberglass mat installation, accelerating Step 4, that automation, and optimizing Step 3, installation. Finally, the Tesla team deleted Step 2, the requirement for the fiberglass mats, entirely by removing a $2 million fiberglass mat installation robot for the Model 3. Had they begun by questioning Step 1, the requirement, they might have saved effort, time, and expense. Elon Musk's 5 steps to build and write requirements better are a valuable lesson for any builder interested in design thinking, product management, and engineering. Hope you found this useful. Thanks for watching!